Everyone in my town disappears at midnight. Except me. I don't mean they go to sleep. I mean they vanish. One moment, the houses glow with life, TVs murmuring, dishes clinking, footsteps pacing, and the next, everything goes silent, hollow, like a stage after the actors have fled. At exactly 12 a.m., every single person is gone, everyone but me. The first time it happened, I thought I was losing my mind. I was 16, lying on my bed, scrolling through my phone, when the clock on my wall ticked over from 11:59 to 12 o'clock. At the same instant, my phone lost signal. The hum of the refrigerator died. Even the crickets outside stopped chirping. As if the world itself had held its breath, I called out to my parents. No answer. I walked into the living room. The TV was still on, frozen on a smiling news anchor mid-sentence. My dad's coffee mug sat warm on the table. My mom's slippers were by the couch. They hadn't left. They had disappeared. I ran outside. Every house on my street was the same. Lights on. Doors unlocked. Cars parked in driveways. But not a single person anywhere. No dogs barking. No wind. No sound at all, except my own breathing, too loud, too desperate. At 12:07 a.m., my parents came back. They didn't walk in. They were just there. Sitting exactly where they had been before. When I tried to tell them what happened, they stared at me like I was joking. What are you talking about? My mom asked. You look pale. Go to sleep. And the scariest part, they didn't remember disappearing. After that, it happened every night. At midnight, the town emptied itself. At 12:07, everyone returned. 7 minutes, always 7 minutes. I started staying awake on purpose. I set alarms. I filmed videos on my phone, but the recordings always corrupted at exactly midnight, static, distorted audio, then nothing. Like the footage itself refused to remember, I tried leaving town. One night, at 11:45 p.m., I stole my dad's car and drove toward the highway. I wanted to be anywhere else when midnight came. Anywhere with witnesses, but as soon as the clock hit 12 o'clock, the road ahead of me stretched unnaturally long, looping back on itself. Street signs melted into unreadable shapes. My GPS spun in circles, insisting I was already home. No matter how far I drove, I never left town. At 12:07, I was parked neatly in my driveway again. Engine off. Keys in my hand. I don't remember driving back. I started noticing other things, shadows that didn't belong to anything. Footprints that appeared in the dust while the town was empty. Too many footprints, overlapping, like a crowd moving where no people existed. Sometimes I heard whispers, low and layered, bleeding out of the walls. I felt watched. Not by something outside, by something underneath everything. On the 50th night, I finally broke. At 11:59, I stood in the town square, shaking, holding a metal rod I'd stolen from a construction site. When the clock struck midnight and the town vanished again, I screamed, "Why am I still here?" The silence answered me. Then the ground trembled, cracks split the pavement, thin at first, then widening like mouths forced open. A low, grinding sound rose from below, ancient and hungry. The air thickened, pressing against my chest, making it hard to breathe, and then I saw them. Figures emerged from the shadows, tall, wrong-shaped silhouettes with faces that refused to stay still. They surrounded the square, standing where people should have been. Their voices layered together, speaking directly into my head, observer still active. They whispered, anomaly unresolved. What do you want from me? I shouted, tears streaming down my face. One figure stepped forward. Its face rippled, briefly forming something almost human. You are the anchor, it said. You remain so the loop may persist. Before I could ask what that meant, the clock struck 12:07. The town snapped back into place. The figures were gone, but I knew then, deep in my bones, that something terrible was coming. The dream started after that. I dreamed of the town before it existed. A vast, empty darkness. Then lights being switched on, buildings rising like props, people pouring in like actors filling their marks. I dreamed of myself standing at the center, younger, smaller, crying while unseen hands shaped the world around me. I woke up every morning more exhausted than the night before. I started to recognize patterns in people's behavior, tiny loops. The same conversations. The same arguments. The same jokes told on the same days. My parents laughed at the same punchlines, every week, without realizing it. They weren't just forgetting the midnight vanishings, they were forgetting everything. I searched old records at the library. Newspapers. Census data. Death certificates, nothing. My town didn't exist on any map older than 20 years, and 20 years ago. I was born, on the 100th night. I decided to stay out past 12:07. I chained myself to a streetlight in the town square before midnight. Wrapping the metal tight around my waist, my arms, my legs. When the town vanished, the chain stayed, so did I, but something else stayed too. The figures returned, closer this time. I could feel their presence crawling under my skin, pulling at my thoughts. The anchor resists, they murmured. You built this place, I said, my voice shaking. Didn't you? You did. The words hit harder than any blow. Memories flooded back, memories I had never known were missing. I remembered white rooms and humming machines. I remembered voices arguing about containment and stability. I remembered being told I was special. That my mind could hold things other minds couldn't. I remembered agreeing. The figures peeled away, revealing something beneath them, a vast, pulsing structure of light and shadow, threaded through the town like roots. This town is a construct, they said. A containment loop. The population are simulations, patterns held together by your presence. Presence for what? I whispered, for what is buried below. The ground split open again, wider this time. Beneath the town was something enormous, writhing, pressing upward against the fragile skin of reality. A thing that did not belong to this world. As long as you remain, the voices said, it sleeps. The chain snapped, the clock struck 12:07, everyone came back, but I didn't feel relief, I felt responsibility. Now, every night, I stay awake. I walk the empty streets while the town is gone. I listen to the thing beneath us breathe. I feel it tug at my thoughts, testing my focus, waiting for weakness. The figures watch from the corners, making adjustments, keeping the loop stable, and I understand now why I'm the only one who stays, because if I ever disappear like the rest of them, there will be nothing left to hold this place together, nothing left to keep it asleep. So if you ever find a town that doesn't appear on any map, where everyone swears nothing strange ever happens, check the clock at midnight. If the streets are empty, and you see someone walking alone, exhausted, terrified, but still standing, that's me, and I'm the only thing keeping your world from ending.